Hey, what's going on to everybody? DC Producer Logikbomb here, and welcome to the first episode of Elements to Beat series. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Beat Diggin 101, and because you producers out there and you beat makers are pretty much used to the whole art of digging for records, I'm only going to get to the specifics that's going to help you to become better diggers, better sample based producers. And we're gonna, as we go along in the further series or further episodes of this series, we're gonna go into detail, take you to the shops here in the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and show you maybe our method of how we do things. But it's the same thing as you all do. It's just a little bit of different methods, and that's the motive of this video, to kind of share information and knowledge and things so that all of us can become better producers, better beat makers, and be able to inspire some other people. So let's get to the first point, and the first point is how to listen to a sample. Think about this. When you're in the store, walking in the store, when you're walking down the street, or when you're riding in a car and you have the radio on and you hear that perfect sample, what do? You go home, you immediately see if you can find the record, and then you immediately start chopping the record. That's okay. That's all well and good. And a lot of the producers that we looked up to did the same exact thing. However, we want to keep in mind that these producers such as Pete Rock, Premier, Dilla, and all the other ones that we look up to as inspiration to make music, they were born or raised in the era where they listened to the music first. So they're familiar with certain grooves and things that were just part of them. On the other hand, anyone who's really born as early as 90 and later really don't have the essence, that natural groove, to be able to dance to the music first before they even try to go into the MPC and try to sample the record. So what I'm gonna do today, very briefly, is show how we can listen to the record, and it's better to tell you so. You like that, don't you? But what you gotta do is see the importance of listening to the sample. And the reason why that's so important is because, can you hear me? The reason why it's so important to listen to the sample is so that you can try to dissect each and every instrument from the song. Now, a lot of you may say, well, I just want to get to making the beat. I don't really feel like going and listen to the whole song. I just want to bang out a beat. And that's fine. But if you're really trying to make your beat stand out, you want to recognize first that your MPC or your DAW, whatever you're using, as I said earlier, is an instrument. So extract them drums. You want to dissect the drums. What kind of piano is being played in the sample? What kind of bass line? Where in the album can I find the bass so that I can take that and I can turn on 16 pads in the MPC if you have an MPC and utilize that. A lot of guys like J. Phil and Overlord has demonstrated that, as well as some other guys. And so it's important to listen to your sample with the view to extract parts that you can manipulate. And try your best, if you can, just my opinion, to make each part that you extract as original as possible. Tweak it, use different elements of whatever DAW or hardware that you're using so that you can make your best beat. And so right now we're gonna talk about how to dig. You already know how to do that. I'm gonna help you to do it better. Alright, so this is just some of my personal collection. And what I suggest producers out there, y'all do, I know it's okay to go raw with it and just leave your records all over the place. That's fine. That's raw. That's hip hop. That's what you do. Do it. However, the best thing to do is you want to treat your collection like it's a store. I mean, when you go to dig for records in the first place, it's an order, right? Alphabetical order, maybe, from genre. You want your own collection to look like that as well. Why? Because technically, when you're digging for records or when you're looking for samples in your home, that's what you're doing. You're digging. See, once you buy that record, you may not automatically use it, so it goes 1 into the collection, 2 into the collection, and next thing you know, you have a whole collection of albums. So you have an ability to dig in your own home. But what's the use of digging if you don't know where to start to dig? So the best thing to do is, as you can see, if you can see that label, which let me take this out. You see this says funk bands. So that means, and hopefully I didn't lose the spot, that at a certain point, all my funk bands start at a certain point. And the reason why that's important is because with each genre, if you have them in alphabetical order under that genre, it makes it very easy for you to dissect your let's say you want to go and use a Fender Rhodes. Well, you know that most likely if you go to Roy Ayers, or if you listen to some Bob James, he has a lot of Fender Rhodes, and so you already know how to you can already dissect what song has the most Fender Rhodes that will enable you to use that instrument in your sampler. And that's important. So try to get organized. Take a moment to organize your albums, or whatever sources of CDs or whatever sources of samples that you have, so that it can speed up your ability to make beats. So that's one tip from me. If you have any, please share them down at the bottom, that's right, in the comments section, so we can share them all around, and I would like to see how y'all do it as well. So on to the next thing. In the next episode, I'm gonna actually take y'all digging. We're gonna go to a special spot here in DC. One of my favorite spots is called Some Records. You may have heard of it from Odyssey or other DMV producers, and that's one of my favorite spots. You may have even caught it on some of DMV's artist videos. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to introduce you to some people and interview some people, so that you can get familiar, just in case you want to come to DC. You'll be able to know the spots that, you know, we frequent here in DC. And so right now we're going to do a beat feature. I would like to thank y'all once again for inviting me on this first episode. Forgive me for any other quirky camera antics or whatever, because as we go through, we're going to get better and better. We're going to make it happen. And what I would like to do right now is introduce y'all to the sample of this next beat that I'm going to feature. The first beat on the first episode of Elements. This is your boy Logikbomb signing off, and take it easy.